Dear Priscilla, well, the submarine was down one of its crew members at the beginning of this week as Camden went with Gus to the northern part of Ecuador to distribute CDs. In the meantime, Boyce and I volunteered at a daycare in the mornings, and it was very interesting getting to know the kids. We started really missing Camden because he's a lot better at Spanish than us, and I think that's the reason why the kids didn't try to kill him. Speaking of Spanish, in 2008, I went to Peru with a large group to be part of a community outreach.
That's a picture right there.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, except that is a video, so keep smiling.
Looking at me.
Did I show in those 10 days if I didn't even sit down and talk to anyone? At the beginning of the trip, I was given a little green book.
Yeah, she's very calm.
She's got a tongue.
For the beginning beginner.
I mean,
I happened to bring it on this trip thinking that I might need it.
How far?
I gave Boyce
This far.
I can feel twisting the...
And today...
Oh, yeah.
When they really feel relaxed, they just kind of sit there, like normal.
You were reading a lot about boas, you said?
Actually, ball python at the pet store, I really wanted a ball python. Now we got a boa. I think I'm happy.
Besides, I don't need a lot of these.
I don't think she likes flashes.
That's why it's not flash.
I have been thinking, he's absolutely right.
For some reason, she looks scarier in person.
Okay, to have to carry that book around. Exactly. 10 days
she's a
after.
snake.
¿Sí ves ese brillo que tiene abajo?
The funny thing
Eso
is
nomás
that a 10-day short-term missionary's guide to Spanish booklet losing its usefulness in exactly 10 days. I had been given that book to supplement for an experience that I wouldn't have been able to have in the 10 days I had to spend in Peru, walking around and talking to people with the tiny bit of Spanish that was in the little green book. But I have touched more lives here in 10 days without a little green book than I did in Peru with 10 days doing nothing but studying the little green book. Let me put it this way. Boyce didn't give me back the book because he's only in this cultural context for 10 days, but because in those 10 days he has been focusing on the people, the language, and finding himself within that cultural context. Boyce has moved beyond the beginning beginner because in the 10-day time frame given to short-term missionaries, he has learned more about the people and more about the language than a short-termer would have been able to on a building project or a 10-day outreach. And in my personal opinion, because Boyce's focus was on the people, Boyce has touched more lives than a whole short-term team would have touched on a building project or a VBS. There is no substitute for taking time to learn about a culture. No little green book can account for the relationships made by just sitting and talking. This week we start up our IMED training, but I think that if I were sent home tomorrow, I still would count this trip as a success. Not because I helped fix or build or heal, but because I had the chance to learn and talk and make friends. Priscilla, I'll see you on Sunday.
Cumpleaños feliz, cumpleaños feliz, cumpleaños